Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. I am Melrose, and I am here to share your daily aspects. Today is Sunday, February 20, 2022. Say that twice fast. 2022. Probably really easy, actually. Okay, so the sun is in Pisces today, as are Jupiter and Neptune. And it's interesting, I was looking this up, and Jupiter is Pisces' traditional ruler, and Neptune is Pisces' less traditional ruler. Neptune wasn't discovered until 1846, and of course, astrology is much older than that. So it's interesting that both of Pisces ruling planets are in Pisces while the sun is what sheds the light on these factors that we focus on as we move through the signs. And the presence of both of Pisces ruling planets during the sun's transit here makes it a significant time to gain inspiration and to act on it. Pisces is the word for fish, and the ruling planet Neptune is a symbol of water. So when the sun is in Pisces, our consciousness is drawn to those spaces and ways of being that are the most comfortable for us. We seek out people and places that help us feel and express our creative capacities. Pisces' traditional ruler is Jupiter, which actively helps us to expand that creative capacity. So again, I just want to say a really fertile time for letting your imagination go, for, giving your body some healing and relaxing time, some rest, and really finding a way to settle into the comfort of hopefully your home, but a space that helps you feel at ease in creating and expressing your most creative ideas. That is the time for this. When the moon is in Libra, we can be in our heads a little or a lot about what is fair in our relationships, but we have the power to strike the balance here. And with a little bit of initiative and sometimes maybe a conversation with the people we keep closest to us, it's likely that any anxieties that we have can be relieved. The waning gibbous nature of this moon has us still in a phase of review. So we just had our full moon celebration the last few days. And now, we're beginning to look back on it and think about what we liked and what we would like to see go better the next time we culminate some goals. And this will lead eventually to next Wednesday, our third quarter moon, which is the waning side of the moon, where we begin to actually push things out, release rather than review. So start totting up your list and making that mental inventory of the things that can be let go. Okay, we have a legend on the side of the page here. This has all of the symbols that are on the page today. So if you need something to refer to for the name or the general idea that comes with the name, that's all right here. I have divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon represents our inner life, and this is about our relationship with ourself, our body, our heart, our mind, those the way we feel in our body, and also all those things we think, feel, know, and intuit, the stuff that is unexpressed and just on the inside. So the transits and aspects that the moon makes are very brief ones. These all last about 2 hours, and they have more to do with those things we think, feel, know, and intuit. And then on the sun side of the page, the sun represents our outer life, and this is who we are out in the work, social, and civic spheres. It has to do with who we are on the outside, like the person that people first get to know when they meet us. So that's the outer life, the things that happen, not on the inside of our homes or the inside of our bodies and hearts and minds, but the interactions we make out in the world. And I address the sun and the rest of the planets aspects over here because they have more to do with that work, social, and civic stuff. And they take longer than the lunar aspects. And we will start on the moon side today at 5:46 a.m. Central Standard Time, friends. The moon makes a trine aspect with Saturn. So, and again, this is your inner life. This is how we feel on the inside and how we feel at home. The moon in an aspect with Saturn is about our relationship to those structures and networks that we rely on for support and validation, and our duty to maintain them. And when the moon is an aspect with Saturn, we feel some way about that. So this trine aspect makes it a very positive, highly functional, ideal sort of vibration between our inner lives and those structures. And at this time we feel supported and even somewhat maybe lifted up by our network, which is great tidings for all this Pisces creativity that we have, because, you know, we do our best creating when we feel fully comfortable, supported, and secure. Then at 8:33 in the morning, the moon makes a square with Venus. And moon with Venus usually has this feeling receptive and open, especially to attention and affection. When we have this square challenge aspect here, we feel receptive in a way that can come across as unpleasant, like perhaps needy or grasping. So really at this time, if the person or people or pets or plants that you rely on for that attention and affection feedback to help you fill your cup are not available to give that to you for whatever reason, this is your self-love challenge. Go ahead and do something kind and loving for yourself and, you know, fill your cup on your own. We can all do it from time to time. It's a skill that is really worth having. And then at 9:25 a.m., the moon makes a square with Mars. So Venus and Mars are conjunct, right? They're within a couple of degrees of each other right now and moving toward one another. And so we're going to have these sort of back-to-back aspects. And these actually overlap. This comes in about an hour after this one does. So being 2-hour aspects, this is all going to come together. Moon in aspect with Mars has this feeling assertive and bold and kind of sexy and really ready to get out there and pursue what it is that we wish to pursue. And the square aspect again brings a challenge in there, and so it's possible we feel assertive or acting assertive in a way that comes across as unkind, mean, pushy, that kind of thing. So this is your self-satisfaction challenge, okay? What can you do, you know, much like the self-love challenge, filling your own cup, what can you do to be active and have initiative in something without, you know, coming across as unkind and having a problem that you have to come back and address later. And then at 11:02 p.m., so almost as this is gone, the last half hour of this, the moon is square with Pluto. Now you see the moon is making the same aspect with all of these different planets that are all right now in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. So this is a lot about the work we're doing and the ambitions that we have. The moon in an aspect with Pluto usually has us deep in our feelings or deep in our intuitions. Sometimes we have like a recall or just a sudden deep realization, a new understanding. And in the square aspect with the challenge there, we might be dwelling on some old hurt or a painful understanding, like we came to an understanding and gosh, that really hurts my soul to learn that about myself. So this is your self-work challenge. It's time to like sit down and journal or do your intuitive practice and have the conversation with yourself so that, you know, you don't have to linger any longer on this old hurt. You're going to have to find a way to work that out on the inside. Okay, so those are our lunar aspects for today. On the sun side of the page, we have two ongoing aspects. They are ongoing at the same time to about the same point on the calendar, which will be spring equinox, which is March 20th of this year. Venus conjunct Mars. Okay, so this is about, this is a very creative time, like we said, with Pisces, Neptune, and Jupiter there to expand our creative capacity. Venus conjunct Mars is about partnerships, you know, not just our romantic partnerships, although that is written pretty large. Again, these are both in Capricorn right now, so they're ruled by Saturn, and it's about the work that we have to do in our partnerships. So hopefully you have a partnership. Well, hopefully you have more than one partnership in your life. There are the partners that we work with. There are the partners who are our friends or our partners in our families who help us, you know, deal with being in our families. And then there are, you know, our romantic partners if we choose to have them, and if we have them. So hopefully you have partners that you can have conversations with and say, hey, look, you know, I'm not just here to be here. I want to do something. I want to build something with this partnership. I want this relationship to grow something out of it. And if you have had those conversations, if you haven't had those conversations, go ahead and start having them. Maybe not, maybe not quite this morning. This is actually in the evening. Maybe not quite this morning. Maybe we need to have the conversations with ourselves. But it's time to be thinking about what your goals are for your partnerships. And of course, your goals for your partnerships can't just be individual goals that you're setting and not communicating with your partners. So get those partnership goals, understand what your ambitions are, understand what it is that you're trying to grow and or expand and or even just maintain in terms of this partnership, and go confidently in the direction of them. You have the best possible combination of resources and drive at this time. Okay, we've got creativity here, and we've got Venus is resources. Venus is well-resourced. Venus receives, and it's not just attention and affection, it's goods and services, and it's wealth, it's finance. So Venus is a drawer of abundance. And Mars is the initiative, okay? The combination of resources and drive in your partnerships. Great partnerships, you know, everybody brings something, both people bring something a little bit different, and it just fits together well so that you have resources and drive to achieve those goals. And again, with Venus and Mars and Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, it is about the work that we have to do in our personal lives or in our work lives or social or civic lives. Oh, what was I going to say about that? Oh, just, you know, ambition is part of it, okay? Ambition is a Capricorn trait. So having ambitions for what you want to grow out of your partnership, what you want to create, if you want to build your own home or, I don't know, buy an island or make 10 babies, you know, now's the time to set those plans in motion and get working on it. And again, if you don't want to make 10 babies, be really careful and intentional about where and how you plant your seeds right now, because those seeds are bound to grow in a strong way. And then also we have Jupiter sextile Uranus, and these, like I said, are happening at the same time. And I think that that's beautiful and blessed. Okay, so this is, you know, your planet for positive expansion, good fortune, and just those things that grow and expand our experiences. This is your planet for awakening to the changes and shifts that we can make in our lives to, you know, to give us more of what we want, right? And then sextile is a very positive, cooperative energy. So it's dynamic, and again, it generates things like, be careful about that fertility, because we are generating positive changes right now. So we're awakening to the expanding opportunities that life has to offer. That's what this says right here. And I want to ask you to focus your attention and intention on what is ideal, not for your mother or your brother, but, you know, ideal for you in your partnership, okay? Expand your notion of what is attainable. Don't make it limited to what other people tell you is attainable, including me, even me. All right. And then not tomorrow, on Wednesday, we'll have that third quarter moon in Sagittarius. So that fiery energy with the Sagittarius, when we start to push things out the door, it's not going to be just pushing things out the door necessarily into storage, right? And I'm not going to say we're going to set things on fire, but like we really need to get rid of some things, okay? And that's not just stuff either. That is outdated ideas, attitudes, dispositions, regular thoughts about things. Okay, we need new perspective, and we are in an ideal place right now to be gaining new perspectives. So when those new perspectives come at you, you know, it's okay to compare it to the old one, decide which one is better, and throw out the one that isn't better, all right? Even if it's the one you've held your whole life, just let it go. And then also on Wednesday, Mercury makes a sextile with Kyron. We're going to be asked to talk about and make our plans surrounding the things that we want to find solutions to, the problems that we see, the things that hurt us or make us feel uncomfortable. We're going to have these conversations. We're going to generate something good out of it. Thursday, Venus goes into the sextile relationship with Neptune. So this is like our receptivity and a really sort of psychic, intuitive, even and creative vibe. So be ready for that inspiration to come in and to help you create something here. And then also on Thursday, Mercury is going to make a square with Uranus, and that's going to be like a conversation or a plan about the changes that we're going through, the awakenings we're going through, and whatever challenges we're having with it. Okay, so that is the aspects for today. Thank you for sticking with me. If you're still here, go ahead and like my video, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, subscribe so you can see this. I post every single day. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit of tarot. First, I want to talk about the tarot card that is sitting on the side of the page here. This is the this is the Eight of Cups. I can count. And we're in Cups because we're in Pisces. We just moved into Pisces, so we moved from Swords, which was air for Aquarius, to Cups, which is water, and Pisces is a water sign. And Cups really relates, again, to our emotions and our intuitions, but also like our creative capacity. So in this portion of this story, what I see is somebody who made an emotional investment and tried to create something. Perhaps it was a partnership, or, you know, perhaps it was just, you know, well, I don't know what we try to create with our emotions. But a partnership or a friendship, or, you know, a relationship of some kind, perhaps even to ourselves. But when we got to where we thought we had all the resources that we need, we found that what we found was lacking. So in disappointment, we abandon that emotional investment, and we move on to find better things. And we do find better things after this. Okay, so it's okay to feel disappointment. It's okay to walk away from things that are not working for us. It's important to communicate when we walk away from things that are not working for us. Okay, we don't, you know, in relationship especially, you know, is a big part of the conversation right now. You know, if you are not getting what you need, or if you got involved with something that is not as satisfying as you had hoped it would be, or not satisfying enough, then it's okay to walk away, but definitely go ahead and have a conversation, be a brave person, and, you know, don't sneak out in the night or anything like that. And that's what's coming up for me today on that. So there you have it. I've already shuffled these cards, but I'm going to go ahead and mix them up some more while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Pisces. Jupiter and Neptune, which are both co-rulers of Pisces, are sitting in Pisces right now, and that is like significant and fertile, friends, expanding our creative capacity, okay? The moon is in Libra, and it is a waning gibbous, so we're turning our critical eye toward reviewing how things went for us the last few weeks so that we have an idea what we would like to go better next time. Like I said, Venus conjunct Mars, and we're going to be talking a lot about this. This is about your partnership goals, the partnerships that you're in your family, in your outer life, and also in your romantic life. Also, your partnership with yourself. We all have a duality within us that has to find a way to work together to create bigger things. And we are really supported right now with Jupiter sextile Uranus because, you know, while we are focusing on these partnerships, we are awakening to the expanding opportunities that life has to offer. That's really good news, and it indicates a positive shift in the direction of, you know, expanded experience for our lives. If only we can embrace it. And, you know, we have some challenging inner life aspects here. You know, we know that we're supported this morning and we can bring that into the day. And then, you know, the rest of the day, if you are one of those people who are subject to these sort of ambient energies that affect our moods and intuitions, you know, you might find some challenges. You might feel a little bit lonely. You might feel a little bit irritable. You may find yourself dwelling on something late this evening that, you know, that probably can't be changed. And so what we have to do is we have to turn within and, you know, change our attitude or our thinking toward it. And with all of that said, Saturn's influence is still very heavy here, you know, especially Venus, Mars, and Pluto, and eventually Pluto is going to conjunct both of these as well. So we're really going through some transformations with these inner life themes of what we like to receive, how we like to get it, and also what we like to give and how we like to initiate. And with that, okay, the Six of Cups is a card that indicates fond memories of childhood. And this can really relate back to partnership. You know, some of our partnerships, some of our best partnerships can be the partnerships we have with our siblings or with, you know, other people who were children when we were children, you know, people we grew up with and around. You know, those have been, especially when you were children, you had very creative partnerships. I can remember just playing pretend like all day and you know, making childish versions of things out of sticks and mud, just because it was creative play and it was fun to do, and it didn't mean anything, and it didn't you know, it didn't build anything except my bond with my friends or my bond with my siblings. So that's a really lovely vibe. It's nice sometimes to remember the good times. If you are struggling with any anxiety or you know, despair in regards to a partnership, I see that it can be a good thing to look back on what your relationship has been. And I think I've said this before, you know, like if I'm struggling to get a point across to somebody and they don't seem to be hearing me, sometimes I take it back a little and I say, you know, listen, friend, we've known each other for this number of years. And do you remember that time this happened? And, you know, this is who you know me to be, and this is who I know you to be. So now let me tell you where I'm coming from and what is important to me here. It can really help the conversation to put it in the context of the whole relationship, because sometimes we just get focused so much on what is now and what we want and what we, you know, what we're trying to get to, that we forget that the relationship is the thing, okay? The journey that you've been on with this person is the thing that you were trying to grow, that you're trying to support and grow and expand something out of, okay? So we're looking at an opportunity for expanded creative capacities. Don't forget to look back on how we have expanded so far, okay? So how much have we grown? If you have a friend that you've known since you were 6 years old and you're struggling in that relationship, you know, it can be helpful to just remember who that is and how much you know, who you both were when you were 6 and 10 and 13 and 17, you know. So give it a try, and give yourself and your friend the grace, your friend or your partner the grace of remembering who both of you are in that relationship and how far you've come together. And that is all I have to say about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Melrose, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.